Hey gifted crafters, welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be making a holiday centerpiece.
Look at the time, where does it go? So much to craft, so much to sew. Time is ticking, there's a buzz in the air. Need to get ready, no time to spare.
So I like to make these every year. I always gift them out to my mom. And this year I decided that maybe it'd be fun if you guys watch me make one so you can make one as well. They're really fun to make and they don't take that many supplies. Some of the stuff is some things that I have on hand. Other things are things that I can purchase but relatively cheap. So let's take a look at some of the materials to get started on this. So some of the things that I'm using include this base. So a base can be anything that you choose. I chose this here. I got this off of Walmart for $3. It's part of their dollar area. And it's a little ceramic base, which is dishwashable and it's also microwave safe. And it's perfect because once the holiday's over and she takes it apart, she'll be able to use this going forward. So I thought this would be a great base. But other bases that you could use would be things like wooden boxes or, anything that is sturdy enough to hold the decor you're putting together and will just elevate it and give it that extra special touch. So I'm going to go ahead and use this base. I'm also using the floral foam, which is just something I picked up at the Dollar Tree. I just needed to find something that would relatively fit this area. And we're going to be trimming off a couple of pieces with that. So I will need scissors. I also have some wire cutters, a little X-Acto knife, and then I've got all kinds of different embellishments that you can buy, and this can vary. So I've got some fake snow, I've got some vase filler, I've also got some picks that I picked up from Hobby Lobby that were on sale. You can have all different kinds of picks that you'd like to pick from. So this is one that I got at Hobby Lobby. They put these on sale all the time, so I just pick them up when they're on sale, and then I'm able to just do the centerpiece whenever I'm ready. And then here's a little fabric one, which is kind of fun. You can kind of stretch them out or push them in, which is great because you can kind of move them around where you need them. Then I've got these little berries. I thought those were really pretty. And this year I decided to go with these little reindeers. I thought the reindeers were super cute. So we're going to try to use this as part of the main piece and then just kind of embellish around it. I'm also going to be using my glue gun. So get those out and ready to go. And that's all you're going to need to get started. So let's go ahead and get started on this. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is unwrap the foam. Now there's different types of foam that you could use. This is just one that I picked up at the Dollar Tree. But they do have other ones that are like more floral foam, and those are here. And these are just a kind of like a wet, dry one. They're a little bit easier to poke things into. These mostly are used for like live flowers and things like that, but it really doesn't matter which one you use. I just really went for the shape. So obviously this is going to be a little too big for what I wanted. So we're going to go with this square one here. Now, I did also use butcher paper to kind of protect my surface. So I did pick up, and something that I've had for a long time and I've been using it for a while. This is just white butcher paper, and you can see here. This is a pretty large roll, will last you a really long time. And I use this a lot for just basically to protect my surfaces when I'm working with my glue gun or doing any kind of other embellishments that have maybe like little sparkles and glitter and things like that. I just don't want it to kind of get everywhere. So it makes it really easy for me to do cleanup as well. So first thing I'm going to do, and we're going to want to grab our floral foam. And you're going to want to put your floral foam down, take your base and put it on top. Now, one thing you will want to do is maybe grab a little pen or a marker, anything that is a little easier for you. Actually, I'm going to be using a little Sharpie here. And we're going to draw a little line right on the outside on the floral foam so that I know what I need to cut. I'll show you this in just a second. So once I take it off here, you're going to see we really don't need to cut that much. So as you can see here, all we did was draw on the outside. So these are the only little pieces that we're going to be cutting. Now I'm going to be cutting a little bit more into that because I want it to fit inside the base. So now I'm going to grab my little X-Acto knife. Be very careful with this because these can be pretty sharp. And I'm going to go ahead and cut that piece off. Now you can use the X-Acto knife or you can use scissors, whatever you're comfortable with. Just go ahead and cut that piece off. And it's kind of hard, but try to do it as straight as you can to make sure that you get the entire surface. And you may have to do this a couple of times just so you make sure you get this all the way in. Now, I prefer to not cut too much first and then kind of just work my way in because once you've cut it off, it's kind of hard to get it back, right? So I'll just cut a little bit more just till I have enough for it to fit. It can get a little messy. That's what we have the butcher paper for. So I'm just going to cut just a little bit more.
Colors and patterns spreading holiday cheer. It's the holiday crafting time of the year.
Then once you have it fit to size, go ahead and put it into your base. So I pretty much have it in here. I'm just going to clean this up and then we'll be right back to go through the next step. Okay, so we've got that all cleaned up and I did manage to get my floral foam inside of the base and I have it just slightly above the edge, which is kind of what I want. And I think this will work just fine. Now, it's pretty snug, so it's not going to move. If yours is a little bit loose, what I would recommend is maybe put a little bit of hot glue on the bottom of the base and then put your floral foam on top. That way it doesn't shift around. I don't really need to do that because mine is really snug, so it doesn't look like this is going to go anywhere. So now the fun part begins, and we're going to start with just kind of covering up this green area. So let's see what we're going to use for that. So for this green area, I don't want that to show. So what I thought I would use is I'm going to take some of this fake snow that I got from the Dollar Tree. This is the Crafter's Square fake snow. And then I also have some of this vase filler that I may just kind of sprinkle around. And I'm going to just open those up. And I'm going to use a little bit of my hot glue to just kind of sprinkle a little bit of hot glue around here just so that the snow will stick a little bit and just kind of resemble a little bit of snow. Which really what I'm going to do is just wanting to cover this up. Now, a lot of it will be covered by all of the embellishments that we're putting in, but not all of it. So I'm going to try to cover at least some of it so that then I can add the embellishment. And if we need to go back and cover up a few more pieces, we can. So let's go ahead and do that. So I've got my glue gun ready to go. Let me just move these over. And these can be a little tricky because they kind of get all over the place. So you see how they're just tiny little balls of snow. And we're just going to sprinkle them around. Just random, no order. It's just kind of like wherever it falls, it's fine. So let's heat this up and let's get started. And in the meantime, while that's heating up, we've got the vase filler. Let me just open that up, show you what that looks like. These are just smaller than the little white ones, but it'll do its purpose. It's really just for decor. We'll just kind of mix the two together so it's nice and random. Wherever it falls, it'll fall on the base. And some of these embellishments are really gorgeous. I mean, these reindeers are absolutely beautiful. These were in Hobby Lobby, and I got these discounted, so they are very, very nice at a great price. You can get a lot of holiday decorations that'll go on sale right after the holidays. So I think that, that's probably the best time to try to go out and get bargains. I'm going to try to just do some on the edge here. We're just going to sprinkle some on. Remember, no real order, just kind of random. Make it look like it snowed. Kind of easier to just grab a bunch on your hand and then just kind of sprinkle it on top and just let it fall. You got to kind of work fast because the hot glue gun dries pretty quick. So I think that's good for right now. Kind of take these off. And then now you just kind of randomly place your picks. Now, depending how many picks you have and what styles they are, since these are reindeers, I kind of want all the reindeers to face out so that when I position this on the table, no matter where you're sitting, the reindeer will be facing the person. So I'm going to go ahead and put them in. We'll start with this first one. And I want them to be kind of high, so I'm not going to push them in too deep. You can see here, it's already kind of starting to take shape. Now, other things that you can do to cover this space, now you may want to paint it, or you can do other things to just kind of cover it up. Some people have moss they might use. I may take a little bit of greenery maybe and put on the bottom. We'll have to kind of see how it turns out. So as you can see from this angle, no matter where you're sitting at the table, they'll be able to see the reindeer. So I kind of like that idea. That way everyone can enjoy the centerpiece. So now we'll go ahead and we'll start looking at the other picks. Now I've got these kind of velvety ones that you can pull or you can squish, which is kind of neat. So I'm going to go ahead and put those in. Now, if you need to shorten anything, you have your wire cutters, so you can go ahead and do that. So you got to kind of just look to see how far you want this to be. Or if you don't want to cut it, you can also just bend it. It's just maybe a little bit more difficult to get it into the floral foam. So I'm going to try to just leave it the way it is. Or let me see if I can cut that. I'm going to try to cut it just a tad. I'm measuring it up. See, I don't want these, they're overpowering. So if I put them on the same length as the reindeer, it kind of takes away the effect from them. So I do want them slightly lower. So I am going to cut maybe about an inch or two off, and then we'll put it in the floral foam. So let me just go do that, and I'll meet you back here. Okay, so I managed to cut about an inch or two off, and so we're ready to go ahead and put it into the centerpiece. So let's go ahead and do that. And I'll go ahead and put the other one on the opposite end. And then, since these can adjust, I'm going to go ahead and move these down because I'd rather they go out and not overpower the look of the reindeers. So I'm going to do that. And you can adjust these. They're pretty flexible. So just put them, any way you want. Kind of want to spread them. That way they kind of take up some space there. So you can see here, you've got this coming out. So it looks great. And then now we also have this really fun foam, which is nice. Got some foam in there, glittery. I think this would be a great addition on here. And this one I just may have go over the reindeer. So I'm going to go ahead and cut them to size, and I'll meet you back here. Okay, so I went ahead and cut these down to size. So they're a little bit shorter, but I'm going to put these right in the middle of the centerpiece. So I'll go ahead and squish those in. And then I'm going to go ahead and kind of spread them out a little bit. They're nice and bendable, so you'll be able to move them around.
So many supplies. What should I choose?
Just kind of open them up. We'll be kind of moving them around as we go, so no worries on them. And then I'm going to take my little berries here, and I'm going to just kind of put them all around, sprouting out, and that'll help cover the base as well. So again, I'll take my little wire cutter, and I'll go ahead and just kind of put them in. And then the main thing is to spread them out so that they really cover it up. You can just randomly pick where to put them. The main thing is just spreading them once you've put them in place. These are just so fun to make. I make them every year, and I like to change it up every year and do different bases, different colors. It's just a lot of fun to make. Remember, you can kind of bend them out too. So you want it kind of bending. So I've got two different kinds of embellishments here. One is red and white, and one is just plain red. And I think these are a little bit bigger, so I may put these more on the inside. You can see here, it's kind of coming together. It's kind of just like colors all over the place. And I may put just a little bit of greenery down on the bottom. So go ahead and cut some more. Picks are just a little difficult to cut sometimes, but once you get there, you can just stick them in here. Spread them out. Alrighty. So there you have it. You know, you have a really fun little table centerpiece with colors coming out everywhere. It's a lot of fun. I'm going to see if I can grab some greenery just to put on the bottom. But other than that, I'm pretty happy with the way it turned out. It's really cute, fun little centerpiece. And I'm sure my mom and everyone are going to enjoy this for the upcoming holiday. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this little tutorial. If you liked the video, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you can be notified of all of my upcoming videos. Thanks again, and hope to be crafting with you soon. Bye, everyone.
It's the holiday crafting time of the year.